Right then, let's talk engines, specifically the four-stroke kind. These engines are like the reliable workhorses of the automotive world. Cars use them, motorcycles use them, even lawnmowers use them. Think of a four-stroke engine as a meticulously choreographed dance. It has 4 beats, or strokes: intake, compression, power, and exhaust. Each stroke plays a crucial role in keeping your vehicle moving. The 4 strokes together make a cycle. It's a beautiful thing, really. The cycle repeats over and over again. This makes the engine run and produce power. Each stroke has a specific job to do. And just like a good cup of tea needs the perfect blend of water, tea leaves, and milk, a well-functioning engine relies on the seamless execution of all 4 strokes. Now, you might be wondering why these strokes are such a big deal. Well, imagine this. You're trying to blow up a balloon. You take a deep breath, filling your lungs with air. That's the intake stroke. Then you squeeze the balloon. That's the compression stroke. The air rushes out, propelling the balloon forward. That's the power stroke. Finally, you let go of the balloon and the remaining air escapes. That's the exhaust stroke. Now let's zoom in on the star of our show, the intake stroke. This stroke is all about preparation. Just like a good chef gathers all the necessary ingredients before cooking a delicious meal, the intake stroke ensures the engine has the fuel it needs to do its thing. Think of the engine as a hungry beast. It needs fuel to produce power, just like we need food for energy. The intake stroke is like setting the table and serving up a hearty meal for the engine. Without it, the engine would simply sputter and die, much like we would without a good meal. The intake stroke is the first in the 4-stroke cycle. It sets the stage for the rest of the cycle to take place. A well-executed intake stroke means a happy and powerful engine. So let's delve deeper into how this crucial stroke actually works. Imagine the piston as a plunger moving up and down inside a cylinder. The intake stroke begins with the piston at the top of the cylinder. As the piston moves down, it creates a vacuum inside the cylinder. Think of it like pulling the plunger of a syringe. This vacuum sucks in a mixture of fuel and air through a valve called the intake valve. The intake valve is like a one-way door that only allows the fuel-air mixture to enter the cylinder. Once the piston reaches the bottom of its stroke, the intake valve closes shut. This trapped fuel-air mixture is now ready for the next stage, compression. It's like trapping the air inside the syringe before you push the plunger in. The intake stroke might seem simple, but it's this precise coordination of piston movement and valve timing that ensures the engine gets the fuel it needs. Section 4, the importance of a good intake. Now you might be thinking it's just sucking in some fuel and air. How important can it be? Well, my friend, the intake stroke is absolutely crucial for the engine's performance. Just like a deep breath of fresh air can invigorate you, a good intake stroke can significantly impact the engine's power output, fuel efficiency, and overall performance. Imagine trying to run a marathon while breathing through a straw. You'd struggle to get enough air, wouldn't you? Similarly, a restricted or inefficient intake stroke can choke the engine's power, leading to poor acceleration and reduced fuel economy. On the other hand, a well-optimized intake system can be like giving your engine a double shot of espresso, improving airflow and boosting performance. The amount of air and fuel drawn in during the intake stroke directly affects the power produced in the subsequent strokes. More air and fuel mean a bigger bang and more power. It's like the difference between a gentle breeze and a powerful gust of wind. Section 5. Key components of the intake stroke. Now let's meet the key players involved in this crucial first stroke. The intake valve, the piston, and the cylinder. The intake valve is like a bouncer at a nightclub, carefully controlling the flow of the fuel-air mixture into the cylinder. It opens and closes at precisely the right time to ensure the cylinder is filled with the optimal amount of fuel and air. The piston, as we've already discussed, is the workhorse, moving up and down to create the vacuum that sucks in the fuel-air mixture. It's like the heart of the operation, pumping away tirelessly. And finally, the cylinder is the stage where all the action takes place. It's the container that houses the piston and provides the space for the combustion process to occur. These components work in perfect harmony to ensure a smooth and efficient intake stroke. Any issues with these components can lead to a whole host of problems, from reduced engine power to increased emissions, so it's crucial to keep them in tip-top shape.